T-Rex knows the way, even though this is usually our winter spot. Doesn't he blend with the decor nicely? And even the pavers. Oh yeah, autumn in New England. Love it. Where's the sun? Oh, it's 92 million miles the other direction on the other side of those altocumulus clouds, Tim. But we have a lot of people that got the sunrise, even pre-sunrise. Rick Barber in Ogunquit, Maine, with the moon next to Venus this morning. Gorgeous. Thank you, Rick. And then Peter Lavasco just to the south in Gloucester with the sun coming underneath the altocumulus clouds. That's a winner, Peter. Thank you. I don't think that was sea smoke out there today, though. I don't think it's quite that cold. But it's cold up in the sky. Top of Mount Washington this morning is 25 degrees, but the wind is only about 15 miles an hour from the southwest. And you can see the freezing level is at about 5,000 feet. So the tops of these mountains in Vermont, incidentally, are past peak foliage. That's spruce over there. You can't quite see it. Even though down here in the valley, these birch still have green leaves. Kind of a fickle foliage season so far. Stick season up in the mountains. Driving north yesterday through the traffic, horrendous traffic. Most of it heading south, but there's still a lot of people around here. Anyhow, it's as if we drove through peak foliage and I was napping and I missed it. Let's try and take a zoom up there to the top of spruce. Probably take a ride up there. The color is better than this camera is indicating, and I'll show you in more. There are some pretty colors out there. But mostly the clouds are the interesting thing today. Now, in southern New England, we've already getting some percolating cumulus clouds, and if the high-resolution rapid refresh model is right, we may end up with a few showers, some nice chunky cumulus clouds, and perhaps some graupel with the freezing level so low. Graupel will be that sort of ice balls with that look like styrofoam could fall out of the sky there with these showers passing through. That's what we call a weak upper level low. Anyhow, a very strong upper level low. The big picture, just a giant blender in the sky. That old storm that took in Philippe is just spinning in Canada. Now, on the south side of that, the upper level winds are from the west, but on the north side of that, the winds are from the east. So Canada is being flooded with warm air due to this upper level low. So winter is kind of on hold here in the east. The next system that's going to disrupt things is a powerful storm coming into the west coast. Note the latitude it comes in there, Washington and Oregon. A lot of times that's an indication for where it may go offshore on the east coast, because there's a lot of sort of waffling by the Euro that we watch here every day with where our storm is going to be this weekend. 2 days ago, it looks like most of it was going to miss to the south. Yesterday, it looked like it was going to go all the way to the Canadian border and do a loop right over us. And today it shifted back to the south, and a more of a fast flow too, a faster storm going by just on Saturday night into Sunday. You know, you can't take any one of these as what's going to really happen. You got to blend them all together. So I think we are going to have a benchmark, powerful sub 990 millibar low this weekend with the look and the feel of a nor'easter, at least in southern New England, if not all the way up to northern New England. So that's still something probably won't make the complete call on until it really gets here. I mean, the last 4 weekends now, something like this has happened. And then in the way out picture, I happened to look at the GFS this morning just to compare how the GFS looked to the Euro. The GFS is now wetter for this weekend and more windy. Anyhow, I took it all the way to next weekend, and oh my goodness. 977 over Cape Cod on October 15th. Not the 15th, I'm sorry. It would be the 22nd or so. This weekend is the 15th. Yeah, so our weekend streak of storms going, and as October builds, usually gets colder in Canada, and you still have the warmth off to the south and possible tropical shenanigans. So that's on the way out. Look, and the nearer term, I'll show you this Sunday's map here with that storm exiting New England, probably too far. But look to the upper left there, coming out of Russia and south of Alaska, North Pacific, 940 low. And so last year, I think we used that as sort of a teleconnection meaning look a few thousand miles to your west and east and see what's going on with your teleconnection. Anyhow, a storm that powerful in the North Pacific means we are vulnerable to a similarly powered system in the North Atlantic at some point down the road. So It is not boring, that's for sure. And there's a hurricane on the west side of Mexico. Its name is Lydia. And that hurricane is expected to intensify a bit from a Category 1 to a Category 2 and cross Mexico. So let's look at the Gulf of Mexico. And incidentally, to the east of that, the National Hurricane Center says that we may have something developing in the southern Gulf of Mexico. And if we prog that, it goes across Florida and out and misses way south of New England, that one, on the south side of our upper low. But then the remnant of Lydia could try and become involved in some of our East Coast problems here coming up, looks like probably later Saturday night and Sunday, and that could linger into Monday. So that's maybe some influence from the Pacific tropical region. Oftentimes we do find that these October storms do have Pacific tropical moisture mixed in with them also. So plenty going on here. It does look like a fairly nice Wednesday and Thursday here. There's the Boston 3 to 5 day. So you know what I say about nice Wednesdays and Thursdays, and you're probably tired of me saying it, I know. All right, we'll try and make this a little quick. Rex is being very patient. And of course there's noise. There's always noise. They're building a new wing down there. It's never done around here. Now you know where we are, right? And so the drive up yesterday, horrendous traffic headed south. I mean, there was a backup on 89 that must have been about 10 miles. I don't know what was going on. Looked like an accident or something. And then Route 100 was kind of wall to wall. We got here late on a Monday, so I figured things would be quieting down. But this lodge is packed. And a nice tour. Went to rock art. And then I learned about the polio vaccine, which was developed partially by a doctor that spent a lot of time here in Vermont, and the original March of Dimes was originated around here, and the monument was on top of Mount Mansfield, but now it's down on the public land trust near the Percy Farms, where the cows were grazing and the sun was going down. Just gorgeous yesterday. So some really interesting and more. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow with more weather and more. Talk to you then. Everywhere you go, scenes like this, it's so fun. T-Rex, look at that pumpkin. It's bigger than you. I think my lens was a little dirty. Didn't do justice to the color that is around here. So before we get to the end more, just wanted to show you a little bit of this color here. And a little more of that new wing. Speaking of Percy, I don't know if it was called the Percy Farm, but that was the sign. It said Percy. There's the new wing. Maybe a couple of units left. Come on up. Monday morning, 9:30. The no wake zone marker appears to be going into its winter hibernation. Feel free to make a wake. Gorgeous morning. Kind of chilly. I think the docks are coming out pretty soon. Maybe today? Love that. All of a sudden the wind is picking up a little bit. Another perturbation coming around. Big flag. All kinds of different clouds. Cirrus. And some instability cumulus as we head north. Hopefully everyone else is heading south. Oh yeah, there's all the coaches and the buses. Pretty gray clouds, pretty blue sky. And more people headed south than north. That would be southbound over there. Pretty slow going. A lot of people on the roads. Really nice Monday. I believe Monday formerly known as Columbus Day, right? Yeah, everybody's anybody's driving up and down the roads in northern New England. Thought maybe it'd be over by now.
On Columbus. Lower bar.
I think we missed peak foliage. Bill Evans was right. But getting up here as the rest of them are going home the other way. Happy fall. Oh, I love sunflowers. Don't see these kind of sunflowers that often. And here we are in Morrisville, Vermont. And of course, we found a brewery with actual hops, real hops. Make beer out of this stuff growing outside. Yeah, and more rock art. Feel and look of fall for sure. Edson Hill and Michael's on the hill. Oh, everything. Awesome spooky sky. Oh my goodness, this is so October over Mount Mansfield. Actually, that's not Mount Mansfield. Mount Mansfield's over there.
Everything's low.
Gorgeous. Is that what they mean by barn raising? Raise it up. Yeah. We're just doing the touristy thing. Looking for cows. Found a couple cows. Just got to get off the beaten path once in a while. The March of Dimes kind of started here in Vermont. And this was at the top of Mount Mansfield for the longest time, till 2001 when it was moved down here. From their suffering came the scientific progress leading to the control of poliomyelitis, polio. Dedicated January 4, 1956 by Sarah Jones, only living victim of polio from the 1894 epidemic. You have to just come up to this park and read all about it. Fascinating. It's the Mayo Farm.
I thought it'd be hot with this thing, but oh my God, it's cold.
The March of Dimes Monument. Right here. With cows. And a dog and a wife. What are you looking at, T-Rex? Oh, the cow's looking back at T-Rex. Like, you're not gonna let that dog go, are you?
It's a milking cow. I want to farm in Vermont with black and white.
How fun would a time lapse be of the clouds moving behind the cow? Behind the past peak foliage, with the clouds going over the green mountains, which are gonna be turning white in a few weeks. Winter's running a little late this year. I don't think anyone's complaining. Yet foliage has gone kind of early.